jammed his hand, horns down on his forehead, and it fitted. Gaius, it all fitted. He stood there, touching them with brutality, lame from weakness by now, but royal, I tell you, not just pain, but pity shining from his eyes. And I kept thinking, this is somehow all monstrous, upside down. That purple is real, that crown is real, and somehow these animal noises the crowd is shrieking should be praised. And then Caiaphas placed his master's stone. He announced there in public that this Jesus lay in the ground, and that this was treason to Caesar, and the guards began to glance at one another, and all the spineless folk began to shout, Hail Caesar, and I knew right then I was beaten. That's when I gave the order. There on the balcony, I washed my hands and I looked there. He did look up, and he turned and looked at me. No smile, no pity, just glanced at my hands, and I feel the weight of his eyes on them from now on. Guys, I kept you out. The fact of the matter is you're in need of residence on holidays. What are you asleep by now? You always have lighted lamps in the house. You should not be anymore since they're out. You see, guys, the sun went down when my guards executed him. Yes, that's what I said. I don't know how or what. I only know I was there. And though it was the middle of the day, it turned as black as the tunnels of hell in that miserable city. While I tried to compose Gloria, explain how I'd been trapped, and she wailed at me with her dream. She's had that dream ever since. She's sleeping in the dark, some form of it. But there was a
I need a grip.
You listen to the hour of the musty temples of Greece, chattering over anything. All the people who listen to the shout, they can break it 1,000 ways, but there's no breaking it. You know why I keep going, guys? People, because if I'm not driving certainly that he's still somewhere here. That I've unfinished business with him. That now as I walk by the lake, he's following me. And much as that strikes terror, I want to go. You see, guys, if I could walk up to him and I know now where he is. He was guilty when he left the name in all Judea that day. Tell him I know I wasn't trapped, that I trapped myself. Tell him here's one going who really person. I believe I could do it. Don't you think so? I believe he'd listen and know that I meant it. And at last I'd see him smile. This is why I want that, guys. Yes, it's dark out there, guys, but I won't be able to. Powerful, interwoven with the specific biblical narrative of what really happened when he was handed over. But the line I like there is that his haunting specter still remains, and the writer is writing in the 20th century. 30 centuries later, contrary views have not been able to smother him. And somehow, within the deepest recesses of the human heart, the name of Jesus Christ still brings the concept of hope and the reality that there must be something out there who might be on this earth and the reason to use it. I believe that things through the grace of God. Marvelous passage. He said this about Jesus. Because God gets all the sons of men, and he was the only one of them who glory for God. He was so austere that he was words and demons cried out in terror at his coming. And he was so genial and lucid and approachable that the children of the place everyone's nestled in his arms. His presence at the his wedding was like the presence of sunshine. No one was half as kind or compassionate to sinners, yet no one ever spoke such reckless or scorching words against sin. A bruised reed he would not break. His whole life was love. Yet on one occasion he demanded of the Pharisees how they had expected to escape the damnation of God. He was a dreamer of dreams. Self realism, he has all of our stuff. He was the servant of all, washing the disciples' feet. Their master would be thrown into the temple, and the money changers of Huckster fell over one another in their narrow to get away from the lives they saw blazing in his eyes. He saved others, yet at the last himself he did not save. There is nothing in history like a union of contrast which confronts us in the that the simple record of 3 short years of active life has done more to regenerate and soften mankind than all of consummate expression of God. And in his message is the totality of the expression of what we need for salvation and life. Listen now, please. So that anything that contradicts it becomes...
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly. Let's go! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Get the airdrop supplies! Watch out!
Restore to me the glory, Father, that I had in your presence before this world was made. His eternal perspective and his eternal equity. The Apostle Paul says, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, took upon himself the form of a servant, which means he pre-existed the form that is presented in his earthly manifestation. He is the only creature in existence as part of the Godhead. The reason for his existence is in himself. When I was filling out my doctoral examination at the graduate school that I studied in Chicago, Illinois, I was sent the questionnaire, and the first question said this: God is perfect, explain. God is perfect, explain. And I turned to my wife and said, the only more difficult question I can think of is to say, if you find God, God is perfect, explain. How do you find an analogy of perfection? And thankfully, the space given to answer the question was very small, because I have no doubt whatsoever that the longer the answer, the greater the possibility of heresy. And so I gave that very simple one-liner that I gave to you earlier on. He is the only being in existence. God is the only being in existence. The reason for his existence is himself. Every other creature looks for the reason of his existence outside of itself. We are all contingent, cause, and finite. God alone is the infinite, uncaused, and has a reason for his existence. The eternity. Doesn't it blow your mind? My Lord allows it. Talking about going back and back and back. Then you move to 1 and 10 to the power minus 46 or 47. Such abstractions you go to the next day, we got to stop here, because we cannot pull the veil beyond that to the infinity of our own mind. You know, we list about our world. We list about the universe, because we can never quite come to the pointed answer. How can we, who are walking through time and space, ever talk in terms transcending time? That's what Immanuel Kant, the great philosopher, said, talking about the categories in which we understand reality. We are walking through the categories of time and space. But that's not too bad. You know, we use words where we actually invoke the opposite in order to prove the idea. For example, when we use the word nothing, try to picture nothing. Can you picture nothing? While you're using something, you picture nothing. You can hear a sound that's going to nothing. Where things don't talk about how do you find eternity? How do you find eternity? You could set this question as it says, before Abraham was, I am. An eternal being. What does that do for us in looking at his uniqueness? The first thing it does is it points to the reality of heaven, which is the heart's deepest longing. It points to the reality of heaven, which is the heart's deepest longing. One of the most bizarre, and if you allow me to use the term, logically silly, and I'm being very kind, logically silly movies ever to come onto the screen was Nicholas Kazantzakis' book, put on the screen called The Last Temptation of Christ. And Nicholas Kazantzakis got into problems in the whole theology. And he talked about in his book where Jesus is hanging on, I haven't seen the movies. In his book he talks about how Jesus is hanging on the cross and dying. And when he's saying eternity, I'm not stuck to the truth in such an exclusive sense. Look what I've given up. I've given up a home that I would have had in and it's supposed to be dreams and some physical relationships with them. Can you believe that somebody whose home was heaven and glory is regretting that he lost his shack and destiny? It really doesn't make sense. Whose heaven or glory to be equal with God, the eternal I am, who came into this tiny little world of his by his word, who could talk to us of the glory of heaven. One day I'm longing to listen to a whole heaven. I don't have the capacity to give it the energy. So I'm borrowing a paragraph from C.S. Lewis, who talks about heaven in one of his writings in his own inimitable way. Listen to it, and listen to it again when you get back in your mind sharing. Hear it again and again. Listen to what he says about heaven. In speaking of this desire for our own far-off country, which we find in ourselves, even now I feel a certain shyness. I'm almost everything in indecency. I'm trying to recover the inconsolable secret of eternity. The secret which hurts so much that you take your revenge on it by calling it names like nostalgia and romanticism and adolescence. The secret also which pierces with such sweetness that when, in very intimate conversation, the mention of heaven becomes imminent, we grow awkward and affect to laugh at ourselves. The secret we cannot hide and cannot tell, though we desire to do both. We cannot tell it because it is a desire for something that we cannot hide it. And we betray ourselves like lovers at the mention of the name. Points to the glorious heaven which was his home. How can we and tell you and me, in my Father's house are many mansions, and I have told you earthly things and you do not understand it. How are you going to understand heavenly things? There is no analogy, yet we cannot hide it in our experience. It keeps on suggesting. But not only does this reality point to the reality of heaven, it fuses every moment of history with meaning. If he is transcending for time, if he is the eternal mind, only the ever present are true, then the fact of the matter is, he fuses all minds. When we talk to the existentialist lives in the now. Living with a passion for the now, and seeing all the passion for the now. The song is coming now. Knowing he's got the steroids injected in him, hoping he will not find, nobody will find out, because the now is what matters, the glory of the moment. Go out into the night.
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly. I'm out. Need ammo. Form up on me! Form up on me! Form up on me! Form up on me! Form up on me!
Bible says they unfolded the scriptures and showed them all from the beginning of the prophets, all that had to come to pass. And they say how their hearts burned within them, so that they can't how much they really contradicts us the way we experience ourselves. American football, using word football the way they
नंबर गन दे भाई गन फेंक भाई एक नंबर
college football goes on the greatest. Strong
गन
set
फेंक दे भाई गन गन
on his team with an outstanding young man in character, but then finally they moved him to the hot spot. He was always a backup. Benchmark, they call him a great young man.
अरे गोली भी फेंक दे भाई गोली
Young man walking his
गोली दे दे भाई गोली
his father Muhammad being the
अरे गोली दे दे गोली अरे गोली दे दे भाई थैंक यू भाई
Marked a location.
I know I'm not the first swinger, but I want to play the game. So I said, I can't let you. So I tell you what, if you play better than man in the place, I'll leave you with this. You're not playing well, I'll have to play well. He went and played, and my father was the star of the game, gave it a heaven and a half. When it was over, the coach was around the center, and he said, I know what's happened. You played like your dad, didn't you? He said, yes, coach, I want to tell you something. My dad was born blind. And this was the first time he was going to let you. There's a sentimentality there. I want to more base of talking about that story because it's like man, something. We the form of God, calling on God with the equal to God. The weeks of the no education came and burden on us. There's nothing romantic about him. When he talks about the glory of the romantic love and the beauty of the presence of God is eternal perspective. Secondly, is internal imperative. Is the eternal imperative. He did not come to set up a political power that would rule. He came to touch the hearts of men and women that would bring the imperative from within. Jesus did not come to set up some political structure in this world. Politics swings from one end to the other, and political ideas almost become like a drunken man's moving from one pole to the other, knocking itself senseless with every hit. And almost ideologically with the Hegelian how this idea responds to people. Sooner or later responds to Politics inevitably moves towards power, and Lord Acton has rightly said, power tends to corrupt and absolute power. He says, Alexander's kingdom and my kingdom will ultimately come to naught, but Jesus' kingdom is indestructible, because ours was dominated by power and force. He's dominated the lives of people with the power of love. He changes us from within, that divine, that eternal imperative that we talk about. C.S. Lewis describes this conversion in these words. I have always wanted above all things to be
Excellent work. Stay alert.
Keep reading on in his book, Surprised by Joy. He said there was no pressure as he rode in that bus that day. Just that gentle tug. This is right. This is the right way to do. You know, Jesus said, you before no temptation. The devil said, there's no need to open his bread and milk from you. He said, the marvelous thing about him was, he did not want to
खुश रहो दोस्तों खुश रहो गुजरात की 10 कोटेज पूरे महाराष्ट्र के अभिमन्यु वसीम मुंबई के क्रिश शाह उत्तर प्रदेश की निर्मल कुमार अजमेर राजस्थान की नीतिका नोएडा उत्तर प्रदेश की अनामिका देवी बुलंदशहर उत्तर प्रदेश के विवेक शर्मा और बैंगलोर कर्नाटक के अनुपम के विकास चिकित्सक मोहम्मद साहब के दोस्तों को पढ़ाने में मदद करते और साथ ही साथ जरूरत पड़ने पर वो पेंसिल और बुद्धि से मदद करते बहुत अच्छे बच्चे आप सभी से सिर्फ निकालने के अवसर नहीं मिलता मैं की बात भी चलिए दोस्तों लेट्स यहाँ का खास कर दोस्तों ये है आपका खास कर जिसे हमें
Since I come to know Christ, I have found out I've never. By a succession of emperors, bearing all trials of fierce tenacity, multiplying quietly, building order while their enemies generated chaos, fighting the sword with the word, brutality with
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly.
eternal perspective, the eternal imperative, is personal perspective. As vast as this world is, and as vast as this world is, Christ his message is personal. His cosmic scheme of things. In his cosmic scheme of things, by Satan, our knowledge knows that he has found a new mercy. Mercy is further on, billion and billion and billion. Numbers that scatter in the universe. What is there to man of your mindful for the Son of God? For I swear to you, I have met somebody who knew everything about me. I happen to be a comment made by a great professor of one of the major religions in the world, Professor C.P. Salcombe. When a death sentence was passed on a man for writing the book Death, that Omlet was very foolishly done. It's totally anyway. You know the story, how the death sentence was passed on him by the other. And it was interesting, it was in the newspaper man or death couple with a headline saying to the professor, tell me, how can you pass a death sentence on an individual like that? All right, you can lie, you've been wrong, but you really want to take such vengeance into your own hands. And the man was in the couple and said, sir, it's what I believe and what we believe. I don't really like anything all that. That's what he said. The individual is dispensable. It's a system that has to survive. The message has to go on. The individual is dispensable. I couldn't help but think of the parable of Jesus, with chapter 11, 99, going looking for the mountain, because the individual is not dispensable. The story is told of an American politician who was talking about the utilization of some people in glass. One day, a young teenager who was in glass came to him because he knew this man was being speeches, creating problems, and writing flat art. So the teenager went and found the politician secretary of the door and said, I won't see him for this 1 minute, please. And he's 1 moment this time, he's doing a great speech there. And the secretary went to his boss and said, the teenager will be on 60 moments this time. The politician said, Shut up, I'm not so involved in his thoughts. I don't have time to be individual. And the secretary paused and said, That's incredible, sir. Even God has not come to that stage yet. Isn't it nice to know in the macrocosmic entity of this world, he has the particularity of Jordan is mine too, and he comes in my prayer, and God is Holy Father, and here he is. His personal directive. Second is internal imperative. Thirdly, his personal directive. Fourthly and fifthly, his inspirational incentive. His inspirational incentive. How he has been the focal point of musicians and artists for centuries, virtually unparalleled. Virtually unparalleled. That a man by the name of George Frederick Handel, in 24 days, can pen that great masterpiece called Messiah. So that as he's writing with almost a sense of inspiration, he says, it is as if I saw the heavens open, and God presents himself, and the tears are running down his face, and he's writing the marvelous words and music to the hallelujah chorus. And as he talks about it, he says, I felt as though I had a divine visitation. And after the first performance comes in the third, he looks at him and he says, Mr. Handel, he said, the people really enjoy what you have done. And he said, I'm disappointed. I was hoping they would be people for what they did. How God has inspired the songwriter, from the Bach, from the Singer, from the Mendelssohn to the Handel, and the reverends and the what, and the marvelous and writer, and the slave trade John Newton, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. When you've been dead and 1,000 years bright shining as the sun, you know the days to sing God's praise and the young man who went in strange and spent so much time in the inside, coming under the influence of John Newton, and found he was that on his own life. And when people coming in and out of the same asylum lights, God answers to the his purposes will right and fast unfolding every hour, the sun may have a bit of faith, but sleep will be power. Lying unbelief is your word, and scanty words of him, God is the one for unparalleled, unparalleled. No one he does increase. It has not only bridged the inner the imagination of eternal values, but it binds on those things of costly mercy and first, it gives your heart to a looking at this desolate country as visitor, incognito. This man paused, looked at him, walked by him, and started to whistle the tune along with him. They looked at each other, couldn't speak. Then the Romanian points to the heavens and then touches his heart.
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly.
It talks about the joy that comes into our hearts at the loneliest times in our lives. I recall this movie in China, in the town of Shanghai, visiting an aged and years only now, who died very recently. Only now, to return to new memories of it. Our house was built my name is Peter, I've denied my Lord. My name is Peter, I've denied my Lord. Now they've been arrested again, putting behind prison bars for over 20 years. After being released, I had
Watch out!
In the room in Shanghai, along with another evangelist who was there. And as we sat there, this man with his headphone back, hands now, not really was closed. His tongue was not easily controlled due to some deformity he developed over the years. His wife completely environment, sometimes interesting to our conversation. And all of a sudden, before I left, he said, "Would you mind if I sing a song that I sang so that first the guards hated it, then they began to tolerate it, then they loved it, and were disappointed if I didn't sing it." And he sang all the way my Savior reached me from I to last side, and I got this my God. Send me peace and life, comfort, where my grace is into well, for I know what every call me, Jesus will hold as well. I can never listen to that song again without listening to it every day. Inspiration and center. I don't have time to try to start together with all this quote from New Testament. It talks about why Jesus in the mouth, on earth and before it. It says, I listen to that number of circumstances. So what they think that will be for us, because it's earth, an eternal earth, that is so narrow before and no other than he wept. That I don't have to be like a Gnostic thinking after this video, nor do I feel like a Hebrew indulging that I was saying. Now I'm in this body is the symbol of the living God. Constantly thinking that monogamous heterosexual union, and all this gift that God has given to us is marriage, and the consummate physical expression that comes with very spiritual reality. For we now are his bride, and he is the bridegroom, but God in the flesh, doing the body of people, so that his revelation to the end is glorified, and while he himself takes that body, he is not essentially evil, in spite of how he lives in this mortal frame. If the evil says, glory be to the body, the body to the soul. We talked about the uniqueness of Christ's ministry, his eternal perspective, his eternal imperative, his personal directive, his inspirational incentive, and his incarnational procedure. It is my favorite quote and most in order to be here. It is so unique. It comes from the mouth of Malcolm Mugger, who had traversed the world in a very pathetic journalist interviewing the best anyone for them. He says this: we look back upon history and what do we see? Empires rising and falling, revolutions and counter-revolutions, wealth accumulated and wealth destroyed, the rise and fall of great ones that ever flew over the world. I look back upon my own fellow countrymen, once upon a time dominating the top of the world. Most of them listening to the words of one still about the song that the God is I read a page back Austria announced to the world that the establishment of life that will last 1,000 years. I've seen an Italian plant the calendar with his own ascension to power. I've met a murderous Georgian created in the Kremlin, a played by the intellectual elite of the world, a wiser than Solomon, more humane than Marcus Aurelius, more enlightened than etc. I have seen America wealthier, and in terms of military weaponry more powerful than the rest of the world put together, so that had the American people so desired, they could have hugged down Caesar. All in one lifetime, all gone. Gone with the wind. Hitler must have been dead when we were leaving it for me. Stalin, a forbidden name in the regime, you have found and dominated for some 3 decades. America haunted by fear of run out of the precious fluid that keeps the motor going and a small settling, with troubled memories of the disasters standing in Vietnam and the victories of the Don Quixote of the media as they charge the windows of Watergate. All in one lifetime, all in one lifetime. Gone. Sit behind the debris of these outside solid string and imperial blankets, standing like at the fear of one person. The building, army, freedom, and freedom, and I find that so happy. Person. This is not an easy subject that has been assigned to me, although my field of study is philosophy of religion, and I do an awful lot of lecturing on the field around the world. I also want to be very, very sensitive, because it is easy to make offense to the field of something like this. It is easy to trample underfoot truths and ideas that others greatly treasure, and none of us wants that done to that which we believe, and why end up doing it to what someone else believes. That is the positive and the noble aesthetic side of it. But the counterpoint is, how does one really ever come to grips with truth if it is not put in contrast with conflicting truth claims? What do you do when there are conflicting truth claims? And therefore, what?
Hello guys, welcome to Nemo's World. This is big launch from Yamaha. Everyone saw the video coming, but no one saw the air of 155, setting foot ashore on Indian ground. I mean, this is a game-changing launch. This is a powerhouse of the machine, something we have never witnessed or experienced before in this category. Kind of surprised everyone or taken everyone by surprise and taken the market by storm, because this is a completely different breed altogether. And we've seen the Aprilia scooters, which are really good in terms of performance in the 150 or 160cc class. But this is taking the performance portion to a completely different level. This is based on Yamaha's to the 400cc class. We have the 400, 300, 250, and the 125, and now we have the 155 as well. And this is the Monster Edition. You can see the X motif right there. This is the X motif, a hallmark design element of Monster livery, the same Monster livery that we see on the MotoGP machines with Fabio Quartararo leading the way at the MotoGP Championship. Now let me just give you an overview of what makes this a standout proposition, a stunning launch. It kind of opens up a completely different realm and a dimension, and a new chapter unravels in the Indian scootering history. Now, first with the design. Let's have a look at the design right here. We have the fly screen right here and a proper moto scooter kind of a sports scooter, a maxi scooter, all built into one, a proper modern sports theme. Defining, underscoring right here, the design language is really sharp and aggressive. You have a fly screen right here, the front peak kind of reminds us of the R3 to a great extent, because I can see the resemblance right here, the reverse lamp headlamps. These are LED lamps, LED TRLs, as they light up, they look absolutely stunning, and this has to be one of the most beautiful looking scooters currently in our market. Then you have the telescopic scope. Again, leading the way in terms of offering clutch ride quality and supreme confidence while you push the scooter to a different level. And then you have the assurance of the ABS. You have a 230. All the stopping power that you need, and you push this monster scooter to its limits. Again, aiding in high-speed delivery department is the massive 14-inch front and rear wheels, the tire, some back tires, the rear setup to offer supreme balance and control. Now, best part about this is the standard setup, twin shock setup, but you also get KYD Ultimate series gas charged chocolate absorbers as an add-on accessory, which is brilliant, 17,000 something, and you can add that on this to make and take the performance factor to a completely different level. Then have a look at the seats here. Taking a look at the seats here, you can see the stitching here, you can see the space. Huge amount of space for the rider, and then you have ample decent amount of space for the pillion. The only thing is something that you need to get used to is usually you have this way right here to slot your legs through this in a proper average Indian scooter. But this is a performance-based scooter, so here you have the fuel link, external fuel link hidden right here. So this I believe is the fuel tank, and then so that provision of you know swinging your leg through this way is something people have gotten used to. That is something you need to change when you're looking at a proper performance scooter. Here you have the beautiful-looking tail lamp. Cluster again kind of reminds us of the MT's MT-15 tail lamp, but this is sharper and sleeker and really adds on to the visual appeal of the scooter and really highlights the premium factor that underscores the segment this scooter finds itself in. Then here you have the actual engine, the powerhouse of an engine, which kind of is a benchmark and kind of raises new standards in this respective segment. 155cc LC4B liquid cooled 4-valve engine, the same unit derived from the R15, and the power has been detuned slightly. 15 PS of max power and 13.9 Newton meters of max power, which is close to 14 Newton meters. And then you have the variable valve actuation, which kind of revs your heart any given day the moment you ring the throttle wide open. And man, the more you look at it, the more you fall in love with it. Here you have the Aeros logo, the Yamaha logo, and the monster graphic all over, kind of highlighting what kind of a new statement Yamaha is trying to make with the scooter. And this is for the performance freaks out there who love to tour on their scooter. The tank capacity is 5.5 liters. I wish it was 7.5 at least, because definitely this is capable of touring, and for that we need a little more tank range. But the fuel efficiency is going to be lit, this for sure, because even my MT-15 used to return close to 48 kilometers per liter, and the new R15M, I did a tank full and we pushed it and transferred it all over the place during my comprehensive first ride review, and only 1 point has gone down in that fuel gauge. So that gives you an idea as to how fuel efficient these bikes are because of the Blue Core technology that optimizes combustion efficiency and kind of allows you, along with the fuel injection system on board, to utilize every drop of fuel to extract maximum fuel efficiency from your in-machine. So while the nation goes crazy about the skyrocketing fuel prices that are in the same kind of price range. But anyway, so this is a complete design overview. Another design I'm saying Omlet is the radiator. You can see how we incorporated the radiator. Yes, clever incorporated to the side. So this is the instrument cluster. I'll give you another shot, but I don't need to. So this is the gear right here, but here you have it. And this is not rated. So this is not hybrid flasher. This is the button for you to navigate to the user interface. When you press this, you have economy, average fuel economy, and battery level, 50 meter. Then we have all the 15 connectivity. We have the Wi-Fi that you can see right here, which gives you